10, 9.
Now, get ready for Buzzworthy Radio, the show that gets you up close and personal with some of today's hottest stars. Now, here's Novell J. Lee.
Hey, it's Novell J. Lee, and welcome into a new Buzzcast here on Buzzworthy Radio. We had the chance to speak with Pablo Schreiber, who plays the role of Virgil on NBC's Ironside. We got to find out a little bit about what makes up the character of Virgil in the series. We also got to talk to him about his stellar performance on Law & Order Special Victims Unit as William Lewis, as well as his performance in Muhammad Ali's Greatest Fight, which premiered this past Saturday, October 5th on HBO. All that and more with Pablo Schreiber. Check it out. Hi, Pablo. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing very well. Thank you for speaking with me this morning. An absolute pleasure.
Oh, the pleasure is mine. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, for those of you who do not know who this is Pablo Schreiber. He stars as Virgil on NBC's Ironside, and yes, it is a reboot of the 1960 series of a cop who is wheelchair-bound, solving crimes. And in this reboot, he's surrounded by a team of cops who... I look at Virgil, and he's pretty much like another incarnate of the SVU character I saw, but a little bit nicer.
Yeah, hopefully not an incarnate of that character at all. William Lewis was on the season finale and the season premiere of Law & Order SVU. He was doing nothing good on that show. And on Ironside, I play quite a different character. Virgil Burke is an NYPD officer, father of two, and dealing with the demands of being a gentle father at home and being a kind of rough and tumble and violent New York police officer on the job.
I had saw an interview that you did previously. The show, I watched the premiere, which I thoroughly enjoyed, by the way. Very, very dark, very gritty. It's one of those shows I love to see in a procedural drama. So this has that and then some. And you had mentioned that you can't play anything but those type of roles, like the dark, gritty type characters. You can't see yourself playing anything else. Is that true?
Oh, it's not that I can't see myself playing anything else. It's just that for some reason I can't seem to escape the dark side. I'm not sure what it is, but there's always some form of darkness in the characters that I'm drawn to and that I get hired to play. So it's not that I don't want to do something fun and light. I would certainly be open to that. It just hasn't sought me out thus far. So we'll see. Maybe that'll change. Maybe I have a nice, fluffy Disney drama around the corner, and I don't even know it.
Never say never. Definitely. How would you describe Virgil and Ironside's relationship? How did Virgil come into Ironside's orbit?
He was. I think Ironside kind of stood up for him at a time when he was maybe down in the dumps. Virgil has had some sanctions as a police officer for violent behavior, for excessive force, and I think at some point in his history as a police officer, Ironside kind of came in and picked him up and asked him to be a part of this team at a time when the other people in the department maybe weren't so high on him. So I think he owes a lot to Ironside. I think he basically owes him his career, and they have a sort of fraternal relationship, but also a father-son thing going on. I think he looks up to him, and it's a gruff and tough relationship, but at the same time, there's a lot of mutual respect.
The cops on this show will stop at nothing to get whatever they want. It looks like they will not. They're not afraid to cross the line. Would you agree with that? That they are willing to just go right ahead and basically...
Yeah, they'll definitely push the boundaries. I mean, at the same time, there are laws and there are rules, and I think that as police officers, they do their best to stay within the guidelines, but they'll definitely push the envelope as far as they're able to.
I like that. I like that in that show. It seems to play off with everybody in the show that you are acting opposite of. It works completely. So I completely commend everybody for doing this, by the way. We did touch on the SVU comment in the beginning, and what a performance you did in that show as William Lewis, by the way. Absolutely riveting. Scared me to death. And
it was a pretty tough episode. Very, very uncomfortable, and obviously hard to watch in terms of what happens to Olivia Benson in the course of that show. But I think it was a really well done episode, very high end. It felt more like a movie than a episode of a TV show, which I was very proud of in the end to watch what came out of it.
Absolutely. And this past Saturday, I heard that Muhammad Ali's Greatest Fight premiered on HBO, if I'm not mistaken. You were in that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali's Greatest Fight was on HBO this Saturday at 8. I don't know if it's yet on HBO On Demand. If it's not on HBO On Demand yet, it will be very soon. It's also a great movie and just an amazing cast. Christopher Plummer, Frank Langella, amongst many, many others, round out just like a massive and amazing ensemble cast. It's about the Supreme Court case when Muhammad Ali filed for conscientious objector status and refused to go to fight in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. And it's just a slice of American history through the lens of that particular court case.
Who are you in the film?
I play a character called Covert Becker, who's a conservative law clerk to a liberal Supreme Court justice, and he has a dialogue about the merits of the case and the merits of the course of American history, basically, with the liberal clerk played by Benjamin Walker.
Awesome. And we actually had a Twitter question that came in from their screen name is Tam John Fan, and they watched you on Orange is the New Black, and they wanted to know if it at all possible, if the opportunity presented itself, would you ever be porn stash again?
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, I will be porn stash again. The season 2 is shooting right now, and porn stash will be back for a portion of season 2.
That's awesome. For one thing with that show, it's garnered a huge following. But the main thing that's very interesting about that show is it's a show that people can watch on Netflix. I think that's huge, and not just that show. House of Cards is another one. Like, what do you think of that people are now able to watch new episodes of new shows online now? I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, for sure. Netflix has definitely thrown their hat in the ring in a big way. They're a force to be reckoned with, as we saw with the Emmy nominations this year. And I don't think that trend is going to reverse itself. I believe next year's Emmys will be even stronger for Netflix. They're a huge contender in the game now. They're making original content that's right up there with the quality of AMC, HBO, and Showtime. And to have another major player put their hat in the ring it's just great for everybody, And the fact that people can watch it at their leisure and on their own time, instead of waiting each week for a new episode, I think is it's the wave of the future. It's how people want to have control over how and when they watch their content, and
right.
Netflix has happened to be the first person to bring that to people in a big way.
Well, in the meantime, while that is filming, we get to see you Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. on NBC as Virgil on Ironside. Make sure you guys check him out. That's tomorrow night. Pablo Schreiber, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by this morning and speak with me.
Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Many thanks to Pablo Schreiber for stopping by the podcast today. You can catch him every Wednesday night at 10/9 Central as Virgil on NBC's Ironside, and follow him on Twitter at Schreiber_Pablo. That's it for me for right now. I'm Novell J. Lee, making sure you keep getting the latest buzz with Buzzworthy Radio by simply logging on to our website at www.buzzworthyradio.net. You can also follow us on Twitter at Buzzworthy Radio and liking us on our Facebook page. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
can't get enough of Buzzworthy Radio. Log on now to www.buzzworthyradio.net to get the latest news on upcoming guests, past shows, and videos of all your favorite stars. Keep getting the latest buzz with